2, 1. Hey folks, welcome to Bouncing Brains. We're here Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019, episode 78. I'm Sean Hatfield.
And I'm Freddy G.
And now we pick a fight.
And I'm still hungry.
That wasn't the fight, but it was obvious.
I'm a little hungry too.
Fuck, dude, don't even say
I know,
that
dude.
word, bro.
I just ate, bro. I'm not even gonna think
A
of
double Big Mac cheeseburger
Shut
with
up, bro.
extra.
Shut your mouth, bro. Yeah.
I walk in and Leo tells me,
Suck
I'm
my
like,
sock,
what,
dude.
did something smell in here? And he's like, oh, I just ate a TV dinner.
It was one of those low calorie, under 300 calorie TV
Oh,
dinners.
that ain't gonna do shit, bro.
Fuck,
You're gonna
bro.
take a shit and be hungry again.
Yeah, but I haven't done shit, you know?
It's like edging when you're jacking off. Like you're just teasing
Yeah.
yourself and
Yeah.
teasing yourself. Why? Why, Leo?
And it wasn't even one of the, like, the fun
At least
flavors.
at least you should have done one of them XL Hungry Man, bro, with
Nah,
over
dude.
3,000 calories.
Nah,
dog.
bro, no.
The fuck do those come with?
It's like a
Diabetes.
piece of steak. Yeah, I mean it comes with over 2,000 grams of sodium, but
Yeah.
you gotta give up something. You know what I mean?
Breaded all day, every day.
We even breaded the bread.
Hey, that sounds interesting, man. Have you
I
ever
think
had breaded bread?
I think that's what a hush puppy is.
Really?
I think so.
It's a bread ball with stuff. You ever had the?
Yeah.
You guys ever
So
eat
you
it?
can't have that.
No, fuck no. Oh shit! I'll tell you what.
You ever
what-
had hush puppies?
I don't think so. Maybe.
I'm good at hush puppies, bro.
Yeah, man, dude. When you get
Probably
like the chunks
not.
of
Probably
meat
it's
in
one
there
of those
and shit.
things that it's
Yeah.
it took me a while, and I mean a couple years to have real grits.
Yeah.
I didn't have real grits until I went to Louisiana. I was about 20,
Yeah.
maybe 21.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Comparable too, man. The best hush puppy I ever had was in a little podunk place out in fucking Alabama. And like we went there specifically to get the hush puppies because the locals were like, "Dude, you got to try the hush puppies."
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's an acquired taste. I think probably more common.
I like it, bro. I don't know. I like cornbread. It reminded me of cornbread.
Yeah, yeah. Most of them are made with cornbread, I
Yeah.
believe.
It's
I was gonna say, you guys ever eaten at Bennigan's?
yeah, dude.
Okay, did you ever have the Monte Cristo?
No, I never had.
Full fucking sandwich, big fucking sandwich, battered, deep fried with sugar on it.
It's crazy.
You lost me on the sugar. Man.
But
But
no,
then
the
again,
diabetes is where you start losing feet. But
no, I'm just saying that
that was the kind of thing that would literally put you in a coma.
Yeah,
you should
yeah.
never eat that for lunch.
Bro, I feel you, man. I've seen people down fucking like hot dog. Look, no, what are they called? Donut hamburger. It's like 2 donuts as the buns. I've seen people eat multiple like burgers of those in like one sitting.
Dude, I think my toes just went numb hearing you say that shit.
Yeah, dude. It looks delicious though. It looks like
Oh, the Monte Cristo is excellent.
Yeah.
It will kill you, but it is beautiful. It's like Satan
And
giving you a back rub.
The other day, man, I was watching this video. I don't even remember how I came upon it. Of course, I was online, and I was researching something on health again, because I was trying to research my body again. Because I was getting weird tinglings in my fingertips, and that normally means that your cholesterol's high. Well, I mean, at least for me, is when my cholesterol's high, like really high, I get weird tinglings on the tip of my fingertips or whatever.
Just a note, but that can also be mineral deficiency.
What does that mean?
Like you're deficient in something. Like I don't think it's potassium, but it's one of those, fucking.
drink the Pochico, bro.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think that's what he means. But anyway, so like I was
Take
researching,
an Alka-Seltzer, bro. You good?
and then I came across this video that thoroughly shows you what happens when you dump sugar into your body.
Yeah.
Like it shows you like how it breaks it down, but also it shows you
Yeah.
when it's too much at once.
Yeah.
Like it even gave you the percentages and the numbers. Like when I don't remember the grams, but it gave you like in grams. Like if you have this many grams in one sitting, like it's too much, right? So then it shows you like what it'll do to you or whatever. And when like I was watching it, and it shows you like the insulin spikes, like as it's going on, as it's going through your body and shit. And then, dude, when you have a lot of it and repeatedly, that shit started to show you how it affects your heart, bro. Yeah. And it like what it does, it's like after a while that you've done it so much, it's like you're grabbing your heart with a hand and you're literally doing this, but you're constricting the artery so the blood flow doesn't get through. And then you start to create plaque, and then the plaque makes your artery harder, and then long story short, bam, stroke out, heart attack, and you're gone, bitch.
Yeah, man. You weaken your heart, dude.
Yeah, man.
Have you seen what happens with, like...
my point and moral to this story is, all of this is because of sugar.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily sugar, dude.
Not just sugar.
I have this video right here about gluten, dude.
Oh, Sean's happy like a motherfucker. He's like, I'm not gonna.
No, I'm not. I've told you, man. I fucking love bread, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I think everything in moderation, bro. Like a little bit of sugar.
Hey, look,
I don't think it has a...
I've been told antifreeze is delicious, but I'm not gonna try it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, it smells wonderful, but I'm not gonna sample.
Like I said, I like the smell of gasoline.
Look at all that shit, dude. All that delicious fucking pizza, muffins, breading.
Yeah, I was listening to some shit earlier, and they were talking about... It was a bunch of vegans talking about... they were basically talking shit on people who were talking shit, and it was...
okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, but they started talking about like pasta and shit. It's like, that's totally vegan, and it's like, it's delicious and all this, and it's like, yes, but it's killing you differently.
Yeah, but I have a question though. Well, I mean, probably not a question.
Actually, some people have no intolerant, no problem processing gluten.
Yeah, man.
Like it's just really bad for certain people.
It's like lactose intolerance, man.
Yeah.
There are people like some of the Scandinavian folk, like they not a single fucking issue, man.
Dude, and then when you eat flour, and not necessarily flour, but like bread and tortillas and shit like that. Yeah. So you eat a shit. Again, everything that I'm about to tell you is like when you eat a shitload of it, or like if you eat it with every meal. Yeah. Like if every meal contains flour and bread and shit like that, which is like 80-90% of your diet, which was 80-90% of the diet that I used to have. So what happens is, long story short, you eat all this shit and you stuff your body with it, and then after a while, your body goes into, I forgot what the word is called, but it's some kind of state where basically it can't process the flour anymore. So what happens is you have your large intestine and your small intestine. So it goes through your intestine, but after a while, because something happens, I don't know the technicality of it, like it gets tired or whatever, right? But it doesn't process it anymore. So what happens is your large intestine starts building these little pockets in the back of the intestine. So in those little pockets, it starts to store the bread or the flour. So that bread, because it's never digested properly and it never really goes through your liver or the rest of your system, it rots in your intestine. Yeah. So when it rots, it creates this other fucking liquid that starts to make you sick. So then you get fat, of course, right? Like everybody else does. But you start getting fatter at a faster rate.
Part of it's the immune responses, because when the undigested carbohydrates get into the bloodstream, when your intestine expands, you're literally swelling.
Yeah, exactly. Then you start drinking shit, and what is your regular American do? They don't drink water. They drink Coke, right? They drink Coke, juice, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you start drinking that, and then with that shit, you kick it into high gear. So then you dump that shit into your body, And what you said right now happens. It can't process it correctly, so it starts to like store it, and it does the same thing. You start to get like, I don't know what the correct word is, but like inflammatory problems and shit like that, and then you start to retain water. So like your kidneys are not processing your liquids and shit like that. So then you go into like kidney failure and shit like that.
Yeah. By the
But,
way, just to be
so-
clear,
so-
it's not the carbohydrates that cause the most of the, say, innate responses.
Yeah.
It is the protein, which is the gluten, that causes, say, an allergic reaction that then from there, in some people, can lead to more complications. And then if you get someone like a celiac or something like that, it literally sloughs off the inner lining of their intestines, and they're no longer able to digest shit.
Yeah, they're fucked, dude. They have to basically, I think, get a new intestinal lining or a new stomach.
Have to take a shitload of supplements and let that shit heal up.
Oh, they could heal. It could heal like that.
Yeah, it can heal, but the problem is if you don't know what it is that's causing the problem, even a little bit can cause that
Flare up and shit.
immune reaction.
That's another thing that a lot of people don't know. I didn't know either until like I read about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that like when your intestine gets sick, per se, your intestine, not you, and it starts going through like bad shit, literally. Like it starts to feel all the years of like all that shit that you did to it, right? So then your intestine gets sick. But like Sean said, if you start to figure out what's wrong and figure out how to fix it, so on and so forth, your intestine has the power to completely regenerate itself. So going back to those little pockets, right? Those are created in their little pockets of storage or whatever. Your intestine, if you go through the proper treatment and all of that, it can restore back to like if it was like brand new. So you can restore your it's not something that's gonna like if it goes bad, that like you're fucked or whatever. Like for example, the other thing that people don't know.
Yeah.
When you start to build plaque in your arteries.
What most people don't know also is that like your intestine has so much to do with the digestion that they don't know too much about like the biology of your bacteria.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of bacteria in that lower intestine. That intestine, the part that's closest to the stomach, because of the enzymes that it needs and stuff like that to digest all these like heavy proteins like meat, chicken, and stuff like that. So sometimes when people feel like bloated, like they have to pay attention whether it's coming from like the abdominal part or like the part that's I think above. I think the abdominal part is the below one, isn't it?
No, your that's the lower abdomen.
That's the lower abdomen.
Like
the upper abdomen, then.
Yeah.
Because that when you have like a lot of gas and stuff like that, that's coming from the upper part, the stomach area. That's actually
actually it can be both.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Most people when they talk about having like bowel problems, it's the large intestine because they're not. Basically, if like Freddy was saying, if you got shit if you literally have shit that is sitting around in your intestines and is not being digested or moved through the system, you're gonna have problems. You can get diverticulitis.
Isn't that like a fiber deficiency though?
Why?
Here's the thing though: if your intestines are already irritated and swollen, the fiber is just going to irritate that more.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. You know what famous person caught a serious case of that? What's that word you said? I don't know.
Diverticulitis?
That shit. Brock Lesnar, bro.
Yeah, he had to have, 6 inches of his colon cut out?
Yeah. But him, because he actually overdosed on protein.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could fucking...
Yeah, man, you can, dude. Like, it's not a common thing that your stomach is used to breaking down, so that's why it just tosses it to the intestinal area.
Dude, but he was consuming 1,000 grams of protein a day, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I don't know, dude. I think if you live like a simple like balanced, like like at least dietary life, you know, like as far as what you eat, you know, indulge, but don't overindulge.
I think part of his problem too was he
Yeah.
was
That's the hardest part.
he was taking a shitload of protein, but without any of he didn't have any fiber. There was no fiber.
Yeah,
there was
he
no
wasn't
plant
eating
matter.
any greens.
He probably wasn't even giving his body that much time to process the protein.
Well, I think we
Yeah.
talked about this a while back, man.
Yeah.
But if you're not feeding the other gut bacteria, there's basically, all right.
Yeah.
There's gut bacteria that will break down the proteins.
Yeah.
But they have their what's the word I'm looking for? Their leavings, their metabolites that are left over from that are also not good for you. So you have to have other bacteria in your gut that break down those metabolites, and then you're good. So like that's why it's like if you're gonna have some protein, have some leafy greens, have some fruit, have something that
If you're gonna have pork, have apples.
like great. All right, people talk about like kale all the time. Here's the thing: your body doesn't really break your system.
Yeah.
Doesn't really break down that kind of greens.
Yeah.
Even if it's liquefied.
Even then, the bacteria is what breaks down the greens,
Yeah.
and then you get the nutrients.
What's that kind of vegetable called? Cruciferous or?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
it's basically all mutant cabbage.
Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. I think it's this one, the Helix DNA testing. If you guys, I'm gonna pull it up. But basically, what this is, man, it's a test designed to check your DNA, and it's basically like an ancestry history kind of deal. But it pulls up your medical history, and it basically pulls up like, hey, man, like based on your past and the people that you come from, it's safe to stay away from these foods. You are prone to have these diseases, and if you are, like, stay away from this, don't do this, like try to go to bed. Like it even gives you like a sleep schedule that you like can stick to like optimize your health, you know?
Yeah.
Just recently, I was listening to something talking about somebody did some studies that seemed to isolate some genes
Yeah.
for people that could basically survive on less sleep. The
Yeah.
kind of people that can get like less than
Yeah,
5
man.
hours of sleep a night
Yeah.
and still be good. Their genes is what their theory at this point is that there are a set of genes that will indicate that ability.
Yeah, man. I think there is, dude. I think one particular lifestyle doesn't suit everybody,
Everybody,
you
yeah.
know? Like
One famous person that had that I'll never forget is Tupac, man. He had that. He had that where he only needed a good 4 hours of solid sleep, and he was good. And I remember because in some interviews I remember him saying like I can't sleep in, you know what I mean? Sleeping in for him was if he would put in that 5th hour of sleep. If he got 5 hours of sleep, that was like sleeping in.
Yeah,
But he's
man.
like on an on work day, on an off work day,
Yeah.
it was 4 hours and he was up.
Yeah.
And he was always working, so and he mentioned that he was like, I'm gonna be up for 20 hours, so it might as well be productive. You know what I mean? So that's why he was always working like around the clock. And then you do have people that scientifically they do need those 7 and 8 hours of sleep. Like me, I don't need 7 and 8 hours. If I can get 5 to 6, dude, like I'm good. Like I'm golden. I can even pull it off like with 4, but towards the end, like around 10 o'clock at night, I start to feel it to where it's like, oh shit, I gotta go down. But yeah, but if I can get that 5.5 hours, like I'm good.
Right.
There's I don't know. There's a lot of, I guess, benefits, dude, to, I guess, trying out different.
Well,
like,
now
different
the other
things
thing is
as far as, like,
the other thing
yeah.
is that another thing that I remember is the more you sleep, but I'm talking about like deep sleep. The more you deep sleep on an empty stomach,
Yeah.
the more calories you burn. I didn't know that. So
I was listening to one, not biologist, but a dietitian, something like that. But there seems to be at least some evidence that for some people, at least, you can't you can't fast and then sleep. You have to at least put something in, 4 or 5 hours before you go to sleep.
That's the other thing that I was going to say. That's why they also say that you should never eat anything right before going to bed. That they say that the last time that you should eat should be at least 4 hours out from the time that you're gonna go to bed.
But I think there's people with fast enough metabolisms where that's like not really an issue, dude.
Well, yeah, man. There's going to be exceptions to all this stuff. This is just like the general,
gist.
The general rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all right.
Dude,
you were talking about being able.
Yeah.
I'm jealous, dude, because my uncle just turned 51.
Yeah.
And that dude weighs 133 pounds.
Yeah.
And he fucking eats like a savage, bro. Like he eats. Like we go to buffets, bro.
Yeah.
And he murders that fucking buffet.
Maybe he doesn't eat like that all the time, you know?
Yeah, he does.
I don't know.
I've been around him.
Yeah.
Now, well, this is what I will say.
Yeah.
He eats kind of like you said earlier. Like he eats a lot, but he eats a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is, what I have noticed is that he has bread, but he doesn't have a lot of bread. He doesn't really eat a lot of fried food. He does, but he doesn't eat a lot of fried food. What I do notice that he stuffs his face with is like fruit and fish. He eats a lot of fish and chicken. But I have seen him scarf down like 4 enchiladas before. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So and he's
but that's
still
like that's
skinny as fuck.
Yeah, man. That's something. But I don't know. I think that's like that shouldn't be like something we base off someone's health. You know, how much they stuff their face, because there's different there's different variables like that are like behind the scenes that we don't know about. Like you said, dude, like your uncle like eats variety. Like it's not just like an unhealthy variety, but it's like also like healthy foods as well. Like he's like, well, he I guess he balances his diet like pretty well, you know.
And then you got the problem of like multi-generational obesity.
Yeah,
where it's like
there's just kids
mom and
fucked,
dad.
Yeah,
mom and dad never figured it out. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They just passed that shit down.
yeah, dude. That's why I'm not so against like I guess just modifying. Like if you're gonna have kids, I don't know why you would, but if you're gonna have kids, like yeah, man, if you want to genetically modify them, like dude.
Yeah, no, they're already doing. Look, I guarantee you, there's already somebody out there who's played around with CRISPR.
Like I understand what you were getting at. And, oh my god. Yeah. No.
The real problem with that is you're going to get people they're not going to be like, oh, like I've got a peanut allergy. I don't want my kid to have a peanut allergy or something like that. Or predisposition to heart disease.
Yeah.
What you're going to get is these people going, I want a redhead with green eyes, and you're like,
and then
no cosmetic shit like that.
No, but I'm telling you, man, the cosmetic is where the money's going to come.
Oh,
in.
for sure,
and then you're gonna have those macho motherfuckers that's gonna be like, I want my kid to have a big dick. Make it happen. Make it happen, motherfucker. Just
That's I don't know. Fuck that, dude. But I think like when it comes to like disease, like making sure that your kid doesn't have a predisposition to diabetes or heart disease. Like if you could get your spouse's good genes.
Okay.
As far as like that,
let me throw this to you, man, as just an example of like where we're at in the stupidity of our conversation around some of the choices that we make as a society for our kids.
Yeah.
We live in one of the only like, say, I don't know how you'd put this, man, like ultraly developed nations.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to something the other day and they were like, America's turned into a third world country. And I was like, you don't understand what the fuck third world means.
Fuck no, dude.
But also go fuck yourself. But, I was reading through a conversation and I don't know why this is even still a fucking debate about, circumcision the other day. Well, specifically about cutting baby dicks. And you still get this argument from people of like, well, like, you know, from the dude, you get this whole like, well, like, one, I want him to look like me, and two, like, you know, like, I'm like, chicks like my cut dick, so like maybe, you know, like maybe they prefer cut dicks more, and then you get the same argument from mom, and you're like, and the thing is, you get the cover of like, oh, well, it's cleaner, oh, it's this and that, and it's like, you just want the dick to look the way that you think a dick should look, but you're cutting a fucking baby's genitals. You fucking... Sorry. I'm a little bit sensitive on that. That's a circumcision joke. Less sensitive, actually, technically speaking. But what I'm saying is the factors that we're taking into consideration about what we're doing medically for our kids, and this is a society. Obviously, as individuals, we're more than capable of fucking making intelligent decisions. We just don't. And that's a fucking problem, man. Yeah. So what I'm... Like you were talking about being able to do the genetic testing and go like, okay, what is the optimum diet? What is the optimum sleep pattern? What is...
Yeah.
Most people aren't going to fucking do that.
Oh, no, they're not, dude. And they want to... You know what they want to know? They want to know their ancestry history. They want to know what they are. They want to know if they're black. They want to know if they're Oriental. They want to know, you know, maybe Oriental was the wrong word.
I never understood...
Yeah.
That.
Which, props to Google, bro. I see what fucking I think I see what Google's doing. Google has 23andMe. Do you guys know what 23? Yeah. Okay. They have 23andMe, right? So, someone released an article saying how in the clause for 23andMe, Google owns the rights to your information. Mm-hmm. Like, you have the rights because it's your information, but the information that they provided you a service to retrieving the information. What they have, they own the rights to as well. So, and they
fucking confirmed they sell that information to law enforcement and other Let's put it this way. Law enforcement is the least nefarious thing they fucking do with your information.
But there was like a specific clause saying how that if they choose to make money in future with other products or endeavors with this information, that could happen. So
dude, it's the Facebook model, man. They're just pulling in as much information as they can, and when they figure out a way to monetize that shit, they're going to sell it.
What I think they're going to do, man, I think they're going to start doing ads based on genetics. And now what I mean, like, I saw you chuckle, dude, but...
I see where you're going with this,
man. Dude. They'll instantly tell, like, hey, man, this person is using this phone. We know who this person's is. We know who this person is, basically. So...
Yeah, they're trying to figure out your likes and what you're more attracted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest marketing tool
I'm also not surprised, dude, if they come out with a product... Or in the future, they come out with a service, where they could seriously just monitor your health and just sign up for the service and they optimize your life.
That's what shit like Fitbit is, man. It's
less intrusive than I think what
actually the hilarious bit about, or at least with Fitbit, and there's another one that I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but with that is they kind of fuck themselves if they're trying to actually get a data set.
Yeah.
Because most people game that shit. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean?
Like they're not actually going out and walking fucking, you know, whatever distance it is. Like you get people like, I heard about one thing, guy strapped the motherfucker to his dog to win a bet with his friends. Like, it's.
But what it also doesn't consider part of the thing is it calculates your elevation. To tell you how many steps you climbed up.
Right.
But if you're going in your car, I'd say around 20 or 15 miles an hour uphill, it basically counts you taking those as flights of stairs. If you go at a very low,
I heard about that.
You know, there's a lot.
Also, if you're going, Well, I mean, I only saw it on my phone that one time. I was in the back seat. And we were going, I think I noticed that every time that we would go between 60 and 70 miles per hour, the counter would stop. And I looked at it, I was like, you lying ass bitch. I'm sitting down, I'm not even moving.
Yeah.
This is not, and I remember being so pissed off
Yeah.
that the phone did that I completely uninstalled.
Or a
like,
really
the
common
app
one,
again.
dude. A really common one. Like, sometimes I just get anxious, like when I'm at work or when I'm like driving home because of traffic or whatever, you know.
Mhm.
So it'll consider that because of my elevated heart rate, me working out, dude.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, my elevated heart rate from me getting anxious will trigger my smartwatch to like tell me, "Hey, man, good job, dude. You're like so far into your workout. Keep it up."
Leo, you remember the
Yeah.
conversation we were having the other day about smart homes?
Yeah.
And the idea that, like, technically speaking, there is technology available where you can build an in-home system that will do almost everything that these fucking little digital assistants will do without sending your information to a third party.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this Fitbit shit. Like, there's all right, I have not dug into it because it was one of those where I saw it and I went, of course they're fucking doing that. There was a suggestion made, and apparently it was at the federal level because Trump's name got thrown in with there, about using the Fitbit. I forget what they call it, fucking digital health assistant or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Using that to do basically predictive calculations on people's behavior in like, all right, say somebody's doing like you were talking about, like you're sitting in traffic and all of a sudden your heart rate's going up, shit like that. Technically speaking, you could probably build a model that would be able to predict shit like anxiety and fucking like that. Yeah, if somebody's on edge or if somebody's just acting fucking weird.
Yeah. I think stuff like that at an airport makes sense, you know? When someone's acting edgy, have like detectors, cameras that pick up like maybe ultra like heat waves to see like if someone's perspirating like too much in an airport where it's cold, you know, like if they're nervous. But like on fucking everyday carries, dude, why, dude? Like you have a phone, like don't you have enough just having taps on the phone?
Yeah, you already got a snitch in your pocket.
Yeah, bro, like, come on, bro. Why do you gotta, like, attack the watches and fucking, like, TVs and cameras and computers now? And
Dude, I'll be honest, I got a little bit excited when I got, like, my new phone.
yeah.
And I realized I could take the battery out. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's been years.
It's been... Damn, dude.
Yeah, I was listening to an interview with a journalist a while back, and he was talking about, I forget the guy's name, but he was talking about going into certain situations. You know, you get an interview with somebody that's like, this shit is, you know, no names, no locations.
Yeah.
And like, he had to walk in with the fucking battery in one hand and the back off the phone to be like, this shit is off.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, like there is a definite reason why certain people would not want to have the snitch in their pocket.
Bro. Yeah, man.
Harry Potter lied to us. You do not want to catch the snitch. But yeah, man.
It's insane, dude, at the level that we just accept it, though, you know?
Okay.
Like, we know they're listening to our phone, like phones.
But you know why?
Yeah.
But you know why though? Like something that I continue to kind of like preach
Yeah.
is because look, man, this is the way I see it. Because I used to be like that. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I don't want anybody going through my phone,
Yeah.
listening to my conversation.
I'm not
or
like that.
anything.
It's kind of like...
like with me.
I have nothing to hide on my phone.
No,
I think if I was a terrorist...
even if you did, like,
Yeah.
let's say for example, like for the sake of the example, let's say
Yeah.
that I did have something to hide, right?
Yeah.
Some secret or I don't
Yeah,
know,
child
like,
porn. You had
yeah,
child
yeah,
porn.
yeah, like shit like that,
Yeah.
right? But this is what I think about, like, no matter, like, I'm one human being, right? And
Yeah.
I don't work for the government. I'm not part of the CIA. I'm not none of that shit. So what I'm saying is, like, if the government really wanted to look at my phone, look into my personal life, look at what kind of porn I'm into, like anything, look at my nude photos if I have any,
Yeah.
like all that shit, like
Don't tease the audience, Freddy.
they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it regardless.
Yeah, man. I think you have
Like
to give them a reason.
like no.
Yeah.
That's the point that I'm trying to get across to you.
Yeah.
Even if you don't give them a reason, they're still gonna do it.
Yeah.
So there's no point
Yeah.
in worrying about like, oh shit, they're listening to me. Because if they really wanted to, they can do it anyway. Now, on the contrary to that, I feel you should only worry about it if you get summoned, and then you be like, okay, Mr. Garcia, you got to go to court because we're going to press charges. It's like, whoa, wait a minute, motherfucker. Then you got to show me some evidence of whatever it is that you're taking me to court.
Look, man, people seem to forget, man. I think it was back in 2013, 2014, man. One of those, the National Defense Budget authorization, whatever the fuck it is, the yearly thing that the president has to sign. You know, the Congress comes up with the budget, then they send it to the president. He signs off on it or whatever, vetoes it. They never fucking veto it. But one of those that got signed in under Obama's administration essentially said they can arrest you with no cause and hold you indefinitely. And nobody rescinded that. That is still on the fucking books. So, look, we can argue about a lot of things as far as what the government is and isn't allowed to do legally. But legally, they can fuck you in the ass and not even tell anybody. They can disappear you motherfucking ass, just like this was the USSR. Now, you can argue, well, they would never do that. We're just now, this year, getting around to putting on trial the motherfuckers that were picked up for 9/11. It's 2019.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And we're just now getting those motherfuckers on trial.
You know, but to be honest, dude,
I got a whole different argument to that, but I'm not going to get into that.
But to be honest, man, like,
you think they were just waiting them to die from stress and old age?
No, man, I stick to my story.
It was fake.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it did happen. I think those towers did crash.
It did happen. What I'm saying is, motherfucker, Afghanistan, the Taliban, whoever the fuck they say that did it, they didn't do it.
I think they were influenced by.
No, I'm gonna go on record and say it again. This was an inside job, and the reason as to why they did it is for money. That's it.
Okay, that doesn't preclude
go back to what I said whenever I initially brought up this argument.
Yeah.
And y'all looked at me weird when I said this, but it's funny how in the World Trade Centers there was thousands and thousands and thousands of records of all the money that the U.S. owes to other countries.
Yeah.
I'll go you one step further. The exact spot in the Pentagon that was hit was the accounting department.
Yeah, I heard that.
And that was days after Rumsfeld went on TV and said, oops, we lost $4 billion.
There was even like a report that had been launched saying, hey man, some air traffic controller or someone had basically said, hey, we have records or we have found we received radar or whatever that this is going to happen. So and it landed on someone's desk and he didn't pay any attention.
The French warned us. The Israelis warned us.
Yeah, dude.
So all I want to say is,
but the thing is that those planes still hit us, dude. It still affected us, whether it was us against us ourselves. Or I think
that's fine. That's fine.
By the way, regardless of who was pulling the strings behind the scene, man, I am hard pressed to try to convince myself that it was not them Saudi Arabian motherfuckers. And
I don't think so. I don't think it was Saudi Arabia.
No, but you know what?
There was at least one Saudi Arabian official. Now, granted, you talk maybe
official,
this is fucking
like government official.
Yeah, military Saudi Arabian military official that was like in the chain of like money that basically paid for these dudes for the hotels and the travel and all this shit.
So all I want to say with my argument, man, is 9/11, the moon landing.
Yeah.
You
can't say 9/11 wasn't real, dude, because...
No. Listen to what I'm saying. 9/11, the moon landing, fuck you, and let the aliens out. That's all the fuck I'm saying. Now, 9/11 was real. I'm not saying that it wasn't real. What I'm saying is...
saying it was micronuclear devices placed in the structural framework by the CIA.
I don't know the technicalities of it. All I'm saying is...
That shit was an Ultra HD or...
that it was an inside
my
job.
favorite was it was HARP. They hit it with a motherfucking ion laser from space.
Because another thing that
Yeah.
like strikes me, you know, call me crazy or whatever, but it's funny how 2 towers burned down, everything melted,
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But
5 buildings burned, by the way.
they were able to find in all the ashes and shit
Yeah.
2 passports.
Yeah.
Fuck you. That's all I gotta say. So, but hey, what do I know, man?
Yeah.
I don't work for the CIA. You know.
All right, let me.
How do you know they actually even found those passports?
They was on that
they
fucking
said.
bullshit report that they put out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying how do you?
That's how we
that's
know
what I'm
anything.
saying.
Is
That's
somebody
what
said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
It's the same argument that I'm having. You
It's
know what I mean?
it's a shame, bro. And all I want to say is like it's bullshit that they don't consider that a national holiday for everywhere. And
What
Why?
the fuck?
Why?
Huh? I just want to get off work. Bro. Come on, dude.
I'm just looking for
Can
another
I-
Monday to
Hey,
stay
bro.
home.
Hey, bro, you know what, dude?
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
Can I just stay home, drink beer on that day?
You
dude?
know what, man?
Yeah.
Can I?
Dude, that was the argument when people started getting pissed off at Columbus Day. It was like, dude, why are you trying to fuck this up for us?
Yeah, dude,
Bro.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. He killed a bunch of people, but
you
like,
get off work too. Come on.
Bro,
you
okay,
go
look,
home
listen.
and think about how much of an asshole Christopher Columbus was.
Listen. I will retract everything I just said
If you get a day off.
if I can get it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck. Yeah, man. We should start recognizing all
You know
U.S.
what?
battles.
There's something.
Jesus,
There's something
man.
that
We'd have like
there's
5
something
work
that I do
days.
want to know though. Like, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure you can find it somewhere. So Google it.
What?
What is the criteria to create a holiday? I know you can find that shit somewhere.
Congress just has to pass a piece of legislation.
Yeah,
No,
think-
I know, but there's got to be
Like,
what's
like-
it considered a
like
holiday.
within your state, it's different from what's federally. So it's a national. If it's a national holiday,
yeah national holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck the bullshit local holidays like Donut Day and all that bullshit. Fuck your donuts.
Fucking Rhode Island passes some shit, and they're like, "We remember." All right, look, on a positive note, this is
Oh, this wasn't positive.
a positive that a bunch of people are going to disagree with everything we just said. Not at the same time. Like, various people will disagree with certain things. You can have one asshole in the corner going, "The reptilians did it."
Hey
But,
man, but the aliens, bro.
hey, look,
We need to at least have one alien free roaming around, dude.
I think we have several, man. I
You
don't
think?
Yeah, I don't think they're I don't think they're spatial. I
Okay,
think they're
look,
extra
let me-
dimensional, dude.
Let me
I
ask
knew
you a
listened
question.
to Alex Jones.
Let me let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
Since you know that, since you feel that there's
Yeah.
and I believe in aliens, I want to
Yeah.
go on record and say that. But since you feel that way, do you? And be honest, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna judge you. I promise and I swear I'm not gonna judge you. Remember, we're on the same boat.
Yeah.
So, do you? Since you feel that, you feel that they're kind of amongst us, yes?
Yeah,
No?
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hold on. So, look, dude, I'm not crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Just be honest with me. Do you 100% or maybe even 90% feel that you might have come across one?
I'm pretty sure, dude. I'm pretty sure. I would
Can
say,
you don't have to elaborate because
Yeah.
maybe you're a little confused about it.
No, man.
But I was gonna say,
yeah.
can
I'm
you
not- I'm not-
can
I'm
you
not.
say
Yeah.
can you say at least one thing, not in detail?
I've seen UFOs.
no,
I've
man,
seen,
that's not what I'm talking about.
I've also come across people that I'm like, dude, this person is like not from here.
bro,
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
But I don't think
You
it's
know-
like I don't think it's
Hey, look,
like
I'm sitting right here. You guys can say this to my face.
You know who, bro? You know who the fuck is an
Yeah.
alien, bro?
yeah.
Fucking Elon Musk is a fucking alien.
I don't think he's an alien.
Yeah, I
dude.
do,
Nah,
man.
he's just South
No.
African.
Nah,
No, dude,
man.
what I
I
think
heard
it-
him say
Yeah.
him and fucking Degrassi Tyson.
Yeah.
Them motherfuckers is just.
I think aliens have evolved, bro, to like be kind of like ghosts, man. You know,
So how the fuck did you
they
see
could
one?
fucking possess your body, bro.
Nah,
you know,
fuck
like
that. I don't know.
that's what I think, man. Or either they're so tiny.
Hey, you
They're
think
like
that
so tiny because of
you
like these
think
little
you think
constellations.
they really
shit.
you think they
Microscopic
really
aliens.
Microscopic aliens, dude. That's
Bro,
what I'm thinking too, man.
do you really think they shake hands like they say they shake? They say hello like they say.
I've never heard any theories on them shaking.
No.
Or, no, dude.
They say that
Enlighten me, man.
they pull their dick out and they go into your first orifice.
What?
So whatever's closest,
Oh,
bro.
I think that's how they say hi in prison, bro. I think that's, I
Nah,
don't know.
man.
I don't know if the aliens get
You've never seen that movie,
Which one?
Scary Movie 3?
No.
No?
No.
Dude, there's a scene where the alien comes out and fucks the shit out of Kevin Hart's ear. He's like, oh my god, I just got raped by an alien. He's like, oh, don't worry about it, bro. That's how they say hi.
Yeah, hey man, all things being possible.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't know. I do believe that there is.
I do believe in aliens, and I do believe.
I think maybe there's even a connection between us and aliens.
Yeah, I was about to say. I believe that they've communicated with. There's too much evidence.
Not to say that maybe like in some that they're just coming back like through a leap in a black hole, and it's like basically us a couple like eons or I don't know how many billions of trillions of years in the future, you know.
The old paradox theory.
Yeah.
Hey man, possible.
Yeah. But
unlikely, but possible.
Yeah. But I don't know. They're just all fun to think about, man.
Yeah.
I like to think that.
No,
aliens,
but if you think about it, man, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like if you want to fantasize about it.
Yeah. There's also a lot of stipulations with like how those ancient Egyptian artifacts or ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics showed like flying saucers and all this other shit.
You know who else is a fucking alien, man? I'm gonna throw it out there.
Who?
That Rockefeller dude.
Which one?
The only one that's still alive. That has had like 6 or 7.
I thought that motherfucker died like 4 years
he?
ago or something.
The only reason I remember him is because he had literally, I'm not exaggerating, he had been through like 7 heart transplants for the same reason that he was trying like not to die. Did he die already?
I don't know.
You talking about? I think it was John D. Rockefeller was the last patriarch of the family, and
John D. Rockefeller.
I could be wrong on that. Yeah, he's the one. He's actually the one. His house was where they filmed Eyes Wide Shut, the orgy scene.
Oh, you for real?
Yeah, the
this
party.
This nigga is still alive.
No, not that motherfucker.
Junior.
I may have it wrong, man.
He died.
This motherfucker just looked at the birth year and he's like, this motherfucker's still alive.
Holy shit, they are vampires.
Bro, hold on. John the Third. This guy died in the 70s.
You know what? This is another. By the way, the name I was trying to remember the other day was Laura Southern, the documentarian, and I just pulled another little goof right here.
J. Rockefeller, bro. This nigga.
I'm thinking of the Rothschilds.
Oh, the Rothschilds.
Damn, yeah.
Well, the Rockefellers ain't exactly, they play in the same league.
The Rothschilds. Wait, hold on. There's one that is still alive, and he's like 99 years old.
Yeah, dude, that's what's his name? I don't know his name, but it's this nigga right here. This guy right here, dude. Look at him, dude. He just looks creepy as fuck, dude.
He got that elongated skull.
Yeah, man. He looks like Mr. Burns, dude. Or no, he looks like, what's his name? Yeah,
Didn't
Mr.
one
Burns.
of these motherfuckers get accused of molesting somebody?
Probably.
No, recently. Well, not that recent.
Talking to Mike, man.
But one of these...
One of the royal family just got accused, got tied up in that whole Epstein
Are you
debacle.
for real? Who was it? Which one of the royal children was it?
The British royals. No, it wasn't one of the children. It was one of the fucking, cousin, uncles.
Oh.
One of those motherfuckers that is never going to get anywhere near the throne.
Those country cousins.
Like Uncle Jingles?
Yeah.
From Theo Von's joke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play another song.
Like Borat's brother, dude. In the cage.
I'm just thinking of that fucking Frank Zappa. So was it? Was it? I jingle my chain, but I'm still kind of cute. Just, Jesus, you fucking creepy fucks.
Dude, the head Rothschild guy is fucking creepy as fuck, dude. Have you guys seen that documentary on it's called The
You
Family?
didn't answer my question though.
I've not
was
watched it all the way through.
What was the question?
Is he still alive or not?
Yeah, he's still alive.
How old is he?
I think he's like...
Isn't he like 99 or 93 or 90 something?
I showed right now.
Yeah, that's why I confused it for. This motherfucker has had like 5 fucking heart transplants.
What's his name, dude?
And they're like billionaires, like 100 times over, right?
Yeah, and multi fucking generational. Like their money goes back like pre Napoleon, man.
What's this guy's name?
That's how deep they are, dog. You can't even find first names.
Oh shit, dude.
Wow.
They just call him the Rothschild.
Dude, imagine when this dude was in his prime, dude. All that pussy that he... Bro, this guy had... Well, I mean, was he gay?
I don't know. He looks
So
creepy.
then-
He looks creepy as fuck, dude. He looks like he likes to fucking steal little children and like
Yeah, that's a horrible
lick their
picture.
armpits, dude.
Like, if I had that much money, I would never let a picture like that get out. I would just have the photographer assassinated. Bury him in the rose garden.
What's this guy's name, dude? Lord Rothschild.
Jesus, man. That's the guy I was talking about. David Rockefeller. He's the one that dropped dead a few years back.
David Rockefeller.
Yeah. Rockefeller died. Rothschilds don't die. They just multiply. Yeah, look, man, there's a lot of creepy fucks out there that they got long game plans, man.
Oh, so you didn't find the age?
I'm looking for the age. I just typed in Lord Shiva instead of Lord Rothschild.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, dude.
Now, look, man, sometimes you gotta throw a little theology and theosophy into your...
Jacob Rothschild, fourth Baron Rothschild. He is 83.
Jacob, like Jacob's ladder. Ladder,
Jacob.
like the... I was gonna break that down, but no. It's all the Masons, man.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, man. The whole Masonic thing fucking like fascinates the shit out of me. Like, like psychologically, the way of like we've talked about like what's his name's. We just mentioned him earlier in a conversation. Canadian fucker wrote the 12 Rules.
Jordan Peterson.
Peterson talks a lot about like the symbology and all that shit. And like, I would be fascinated to see that motherfucker take a crack at like
the Freemason.
Yeah, if you're familiar with like the Scottish Rite, they have 32 degrees, and each degree is like another archetype. So it's the fool, the prince, the merchant. Jeez, was that me?
I do not know.
That was totally me. I apologize about that, gentlemen.
God damn it,
I
man.
thought
I
thought it was the recording, bro. I was like, damn.
First
No, Motorola just wanted to let us know that listening.
It's still listening.
It hears our concern.
Hey, they like and subscribe.
They wrote it down for further use.
Hey man, that's that dick from the Chappelle special.
Yeah.
And now this dick interrupting our fucking podcast. Hey, you wonder why I this is completely off subject. We're gonna get back to this creepy fuck, but I was just curious, and I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a deep thinker. Y'all remember that when Chappelle was doing that bit in the new special, and the dude's phone rang? Y'all remember that shit?
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, don't laugh at him. Just fucking go answer it outside, nigga."
Like, I wonder why he left it in.
Because it's funny. It was a baller ass thing. It was also like a baller ass way he took care of that situation, you know?
Okay, I still haven't like had a chance to sit down and watch the entire special.
Shit.
No, but that strikes me as very fucking odd because Chappelle was the one for a while. He was one of the first major acts, comedy acts that started adopting those fucking
bags. No, it was in one of those bags.
Yeah, but it just rang.
But it just rang. Like you could still hear it ring. The person just didn't silence it.
Oh,
Yeah.
my understanding was
Yeah.
those bags were supposed to fucking cut the damn signal.
No. It's just like a light.
No,
it's just
they
like, and
just,
then you can't open them when you're inside.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got
You
like
have
a
to-
magnetic
Yeah,
thing
you
on
gotta
it.
Yeah.
go outside.
No, but you can still hear shit.
Yeah.
It's like a regular bag. A regular person can't open it.
Okay. The
That's-
way I
And
understood it was some kind of Faraday
I know
cage
this
type of
because-
thing.
No, it's not that.
I know this because I actually researched the actual bags
Yeah.
that Kevin Hart uses and the ones that Dave use.
Yeah.
And dude, they're expensive as fuck,
Mhm.
and it looks like a regular ass fucking
Black mesh
bag that you fucking
Yeah.
get at the Dollar
I'm even
General.
certain that you have to do something. Like the person outside has to do something. Like the usher outside has to do something to open the bag.
If I understand correctly, there are stands that
Yeah.
you walk up to and you just like insert it and it demagnetizes the locking mechanism.
Bro, but imagine if you have a sold out fucking concert of fucking
Yeah.
30,000 people.
Yeah.
By the time you get the fuck out of that place with your phone,
I mean, I don't think that whole thing would work with musical acts, but comedy acts and maybe theater performances.
that's why.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm talking about with comedy acts, with musical performances, you want people to record your
Yeah,
shit.
man, for sure, dude. Yeah.
But with comedy acts, but
Not necessarily, man. I've listened to a few interviews with major musical acts where they definitely have.
Oh, there's
An
stipulation. Yeah, I guess man. But still, it's how hard. Like it'll be hard to stop people at a concert, like from recording. It'll be harder to stop people at a concert from recording
Dude,
than they would at a comedy
I'm
show. I
not-
think.
I'm not.
And let's be honest, most people at concerts are fucking utter assholes.
Yeah.
to
I'm
begin
not-
with.
I'm not blowing my own horn, man. But it's just for the sake of the example.
Yeah.
Going to like what you're saying, like how hard it is to like keep somebody from not recording you,
Yeah.
man. Like I've counted more than once. I mean, it hasn't been 10 fucking times, but more
Yeah.
than once, where like I'm doing my set and shit,
Yeah.
and there's literally people in like the second table from the stage, like this,
Yeah.
like and then you know what sucks the most
Yeah.
when they're the only person doing this shit, and
Yeah.
you just see the phone. You know what I'm saying? And
You know what I think would probably affect you the most, dude, if they have that flash on and they're right in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
dude.
really, because like for example, the lights at Scene It
Yeah.
I actually flashed
way-
Freddy one time, man. I was
Oh,
trying
you
to take
did?
a picture. Not that kind of flash. I mean, I did, but it was dark.
I was
He
like,
never noticed.
wait a minute, motherfucker! I
No,
didn't.
no, that one was just for my benefit. But
Was I drugged during this?
no, but I was. No, I remember when I was doing the recording that
I
set.
like the way you said it real quick. Not that kind of.
Not that
flash,
kind. Not that.
I'm just setting myself up. You ratting on yourself, man.
You flashed and then.
I was recording that set for you up in San Antonio, and I was trying to get the still shots, and like
Oh, I remember that.
all the shit that was just fucking like, dude, holy crap. Yeah. Won't mention all the bullshit that went on with that, but like, because of all of that, I hadn't set the damn flash off turned it off on the fucking phone. So I go to take still shots, and just like, I think as you were wrapping up the fucking set, just like, bam, and I lit up like 3 fucking tables, because that was a small room, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I do remember that. And you know why I remember it? Because the tables, dude, they were reflective. Like they were
Oh,
steel.
shit.
Yeah.
So they like the fucking flash.
It's like flashing a disco ball.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, but it was cool, man. I got the
Completely
laugh.
ruined my photo.
Well, I mean, it ruined his photo. I'm glad it didn't ruin my performance. I got the laugh, so I was good.
Yeah.
I won't worry
I'm-
about you. It was the people in the audience that immediately are looking back at
which
me. Like,
brings me back, man. I'm working on this new bit, but it requires me to jerk off on stage,
Hey man, I think
and that's not a joke.
requires, allows. Depends on how you look at it,
yeah,
man.
man.
Because no, well, I mean, I wouldn't pull my dick out on stage.
Yeah.
Look,
But I'm trying to figure out a
Oh,
way.
you're gonna tease the audience a little bit.
Yeah,
huh?
like I'm trying to figure out a way how they can understand that I'm jerking off.
Yeah.
without them seeing my dick.
Bro,
You just put your hand in your pocket and do
yeah,
the fucking
dude,
pocket
no,
pool.
that's what I was saying, dude. Yeah.
It doesn't. That's not. It's not.
How
funny.
does that? How does that not? How
It's
is
not
that
funny. Like it won't be funny.
Bro, you can make it work.
Let me try it out.
You want to stick?
Look,
You want to
there's
stick
always
your
the
finger?
old fucking like the microphone.
You know what I
pantomime
need,
where-
bro? You know what I need?
Yeah.
Hey, do you think I know?
I'm glad I got
look,
that on
this
video,
is
bro.
this is not a, like
I
this
saw
is
you switching angles.
this is not a joke. This is like I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Super
Do you,
serious.
I know that I cannot pull. I know that I cannot pull my dick out on stage. I know there's public indecency, all that
Yeah.
bullshit, whatever. I get it.
But if it
What?
has a tube sock,
Hey, look.
But look. This is my question. Can I? What if? Do you think Bert will let me bring out a dildo on stage?
I think Bert would encourage you if you told him this.
you were gonna bring it down.
Have you ever heard Bert tell a joke?
and then yeah, I have.
Always
So-
the dirty one.
So like
hey,
I
how
would
about you
pull
make
out
it-
the dildo.
Make it a
dildo,
purple
bro.
dildo, bro, so people know it's a fake dick.
No, the thing is that they gotta know that it's real.
How?
Kind of.
Yeah. I think
Not-
yeah, I think the way you handle the joke afterwards is really gonna like sell this, you know?
No, because
Some people might take offense to it. Some people might like think it's because I can see this joke going bad.
No, and that's why I'm doing
Yeah.
it. I'm doing it because it's edgy, because it's
Yeah,
out of the norm. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And you know,
You know what
want-
would be edgy and out of the
know,
norm?
You know the craziest part about the
Yeah.
joke. Check it out. It's not even a dick joke.
You know, it would be edgy and
Just dick adjacent.
Yup.
you
Hey,
know,
look, in all seriousness, Freddy, and this is not even me riffing on this specific conversation. I genuinely do believe this. Not most comics should probably never pull their genitals out on stage, but I do believe that every comedian worth their salt should be willing to pull their genitals out on stage.
I'll stick with the dildo. Do you think I can pull out a dildo?
I think you should get a pocket pussy, you fucking wimp.
bro. You know what I think you should do, man? I think you should take out the dildo and just suck it, bro. Right on stage.
No, that's not
Hey,
the
it's
joke.
joke, not
Uh-huh.
fantasy, Leo.
Yeah.
Back up.
Back the fuck.
Fuck. I was just about to like reserve 2 tables front row for that, dude. Fuck.
Freddy's just walking in the door like, this motherfucker doesn't get any closer than the third row. I will walk off this stage.
You reminded me of that joke from Kevin Hart. Kevin, Speedy Recovery, man. That he said, when his wife caught him watching porn,
Yeah.
the porn tabs or whatever, and then that she was like, yeah, like, oh, well, yeah, you could have just told me, Kevin, that you're watching porn. I watch porn too.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, dude. Back the fuck up. Just the way he said that shit was just, to be honest with you, again, I'm weird. In that whole bit, that is the part that I laughed the hardest. Like the reaction to where he's like, wait a minute, back the fuck up. You're not gonna just go past that like you didn't say that. That shit. Then that's the way you said it right now. It's good. No, the way you said it right now, it reminded me of it. It's like, back the fuck up, Leo. Yeah, man. Yeah, you kind of ruined my joke. I don't know if but if I do pull it out, it's gonna be a dildo.
Gonna be a dildo. You want me to go shopping with you? For this?
Only if you wear the sweater like tied around your shoulders and like
Yeah.
constantly lean on his shoulder.
Well, yeah, dude. We'll go to the counter and be like, we want this one, but we're not too sure. Can we test it out?
And then bring it
Yeah.
back if you don't like it. We'll
Yeah.
wash it. We'll
Yeah.
promise.
No. Can we just feel it?
So
Yeah.
so
As the
dildo.
cashier starts to hand him the bag, you just start playing with the back of Freddy's neck.
Thank you, Daddy.
So dildo, man. You think we?
I'm laughing already, bro. Like,
bro,
I think-
it's because
We don't even need you for this joke, Freddy.
It-
I think
it's
the
'cause
word
I
word
can't-
dildo is funny, bro. Like, you just fucking show me one, dude. It's fucking.
It's because, bro. you know how critical I am with my own jokes, and I'm not even done with the joke, bro. It's
Yeah.
only halfway done. Like me thinking about the premise. I've thought about and repeated the premise over and over, and bro, I'm like 90% sure that it's gonna be funny. Yeah, I'm so like into this joke that I don't want to let it go over a dildo, a dick or a dildo technicality, bro. I'm not willing.
The question is, how big are you gonna go on the dildo, dude?
That has no relevancy on the joke.
All right, well, whenever we go buy this, dude, it's gonna be a small.
I like how you just included himself.
I'll be honest, man. Just from a structural point of view, I'm thinking you can't go smaller than 9 inches or bigger than 3.
That's true, bro. I actually, yeah. That's true, man. I think those are like the funniest kinds of dicks, dude. I mean, a little dick is funny, like hilariously funny.
Like one of those silicone ones that'll just kind of flop out.
You know how I could test a dildo prop?
How?
This is how I can test it. This is not a joke. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a joke, but I'm serious about it.
Bro, you know what, dude? I even think there was someone who
Oh, don't tell me somebody did
who was
this.
on Facebook, dude, who is a fucking like makeup artist. I'm pretty sure you could link up with them to get you a fucking fake dick made out.
And who is this person?
I don't know, bro. I'll look it up right now. There's a lot of makeup artists down here, dude.
The real question is, do you go, say, with the purple or pink, as Leo suggested, or do you go with a flesh tone? You try to brown bunny that shit, hold it at the base, make it seem real.
We're not doing anything on Thursday, right?
What do you mean?
This Thursday?
You motherfuckers are already planning the store visit. God damn.
No.
No. Hey, bro.
Oh, we record.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
we
what I'm
record
saying.
on Thursday.
Fuck.
Sorry, man.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
We don't want to break
afterward.
in on your orgy, Freddie.
I wanna
you
go
got-
on the
You got
weekend.
plans.
No, I want to go on the weekend. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Hey, 2 birds with 1 stone, Leo. Take your girl.
Hey,
I'm here for business
and for pleasure. Fuck yeah, Freddy.
To transition hard off of Freddie's not dick joke, I did want to touch on this since we started off talking about the
As long as you don't touch on anything else.
if you
'Cause I
hadn't
was-
gone for the cheap joke, I'd have thought less of you, Freddie, and you did. My man.
Yeah, because if we go any more on this dick, it's on this dick joke, on this dick
Bro,
joke.
I'm not going anywhere on that dick, bro. Fuck. I mean, dude, I laughed at your dildo joke.
Oh man, Leo, you're just gonna be sitting in the office one day, and Freddie's just gonna appear in the doorway and go like, "How's your gag reflex?"
Fuck, dude, I'm gonna wear one of those fucking bomber, those bomb deactivation suits with the fucking face shield, dude. That's what I'm gonna wear to come over here now.
Dude, once we get a soundboard, we got to
Yeah.
get that Wilhelm scream. That
Oh yeah, dude.
um,
We'll just have one of you guys disappear off camera for a bit, and then just let the scream out.
okay.
We should have a toilet flushing sound as well.
What are we fucking morning radio? We are technically morning radio. Shit,
Dude, yeah, bro.
we've done this to ourselves, Freddie.
Yeah,
How did we get here?
by being desperate.
All right, hard left turn here.
I
Fact-
thought he was going to see our dick turn here.
You just can't get away from it. Once
I
you
know.
drop the dick joke, you just can't. I think it's like a grenade. You got to drop it.
That's
and
what
walk
I was
away.
saying. Let me just going back to testing the
You
prop.
drop the dildo like a mic at the end of the set. Just
Hey, that's you're on to something.
yeah. You get one of them jelly ones, so it gets that nice
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
floppy sound as it
man.
hits the fucking.
I'm still saying if you feel filleted.
No, what I was gonna say was,
Yeah.
y'all know how I got that small dick joke, right?
Yeah.
All right, so what if I run that joke, and then add an additional tagline and say, "Oh, y'all don't believe me?" And pull out the dildo out my pants.
And it's a small dick.
Yeah.
Bro. Fuck yeah.
No.
Oh, I was just thinking you could go like one step further.
You should tear it off though at one point and be like, hey.
I was just thinking you do it like a fucking one of them clown magic tricks, and it's just like a couple of dildos all fucking stacked together. So you're just like pulling it out like handkerchiefs.
Start off big and go small. Dude, that would be hilarious, bro. We should get one that's like that fucking hangover dick, dude. The Asian guy's dick, bro. The little small, fucking. It looks like just like a marble attached to flesh.
Shit, if you can whistle, Freddy, just.
Bro, this is how we're gonna make it big, bro. Fucking, I'm just gonna start making.
Look at this motherfucker. Started off as the fucking intern, wants to be your manager now.
No, I just want to make your dicks, dude. I'm already thinking about how I could like get silicone, like prosthetic, and like.
I need an adult.
I can make genitalia for you too, Sean. Don't worry.
I'm perfectly happy with mine. Okay. As I said, I'm more than willing to pull my dick out on stage. I just have not found the proper piece of material to frame.
I get you.
All of this.
If you want to appear like a cyclops, maybe I could make that happen.
Okay.
Or a eunuch, dude.
What? Like Ken doll? What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Let's just move on. This is way too much.
You made it awkward.
Yeah, I did.
No, I'm on your side, Leo. Yeah. I still think this is hilarious.
I think it's hilarious.
The way we branched off into all this shit.
Yeah.
And we still didn't get down to like, should I do?
Don't say get down.
To like, should I do this fucking dick joke or not?
Motherfucker, I gave you fucking full-hearted endorsement.
Full-hearted.
Just making it dirty. You just like seriously, we can't even.
This is what happens.
It's broken. Episode over. This
is what happens when you don't have any adult supervision in the room. That's exactly what happens.
You trying to say you're gonna call my mom? What you trying to say?
I think she might already be asleep, bro.
I've been avoiding mom jokes this entire conversation and just.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You know what? Dude, Sean's the only professional. Sean's the only grown up dude.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
If people on air,
so are we going
in the radio could even picture this, Sean's like the babysitter, and mom's not home yet, and we've had a lot of sugar.
I'm like that drunken uncle that realizes he shouldn't have fucking had that last shot. Like, oh, these kids are going to kill me.
And we've had a shitload of sugar. So, Chuck E. Cheese after this?
Fuck, bro. Of course, man.
Oh, you're looking to pick a fight? That's...
Carl, you bringing up old shit now? Is that what you're doing? You know, yeah. That's why I love this dude, right? He's the only one. Wait. No, he's the second one to actually remember my bits. That means something, people. Not when you go to a show and be like, hey man, you were funny. Oh really? Which one was your favorite?
All of them.
The one with the punchline.
Yeah, the one that was funny. Yeah. Oh really? Yeah.
You had said some stuff and then people laughed and I was like, that's cool.
That's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you got that one motherfucker out of 1,000 that he's like, hey man, so you can go to Chuck E. Cheese, you can go and pick up a fight. Oh, he remembers my fucking joke. I haven't used it in a while. I need to use it again. See, but the last time I used it, I got a bunch of oohs and ahs and ohs. And then I got asked about child abuse afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Can't make retard jokes. Can't make kid beating jokes. Just trying to keep you down, Freddy.
Apparently, with Dave Chappelle, you can't make kid fucking jokes either. Dude.
Yeah, bro. You can't. You can't even. you can't. You can't.
He was just joking, people.
By the way,
you can't metaphorically say.
Yeah.
what if you were a
Yeah,
pedophile?
hypothetically.
No. Let's
Hypothetical.
let's
was the
touch
right
back
word.
on this because we started to get to this in the last conversation we were having, man. I genuinely do believe that if the bullshit about Louis C.K. had not come out, he was almost in a way like people talk shit, but they still watched him. They still put him on SNL.
Yeah.
Dude, that fucking SNL monologue where he comes out and goes like, what if fucking kids is awesome? You know what I mean? Like that's basically what the premise of that bit was. And I think Louis was like the dirty uncle of comedy where it's like, it's Louis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then it came out that he was actually kind of a dirty motherfucker.
But I want to be.
He wasn't even that dirty. I don't think he was coming on everybody but himself.
It's like, okay, look, the other thing I'm going to say is kind of to play devil's advocate.
He wasn't lying to anybody about how pervy he was, dude. About how.
Okay, I'll give you this. The only genuine mistake he made was one, not reading the crowd properly.
Yeah.
And two, fucking with that production assistant on Chris Rock show.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, you got that one chick that was like, he was on the phone with me, and I'm pretty sure he was jacking off. And it's like, bitch, you cannot control what somebody is doing. Like, I just assume people are taking a shit anytime I'm on the phone with them. It just saves a lot of trouble.
Even at that, dude, that is such an invalid argument because, bitch, you have the power to hang up the phone.
Well, that was the same thing. Yeah. Like, look, for a while there, they were trying to tell that one story about the comedy festival where it was like he was standing in front of the door, and then like it was like no, he was just standing. Like they could have walked past him at any point. And granted, we got. There are women out there that just, for some reason, they freeze up. That's just how they react.
Bunch of prude bitches.
No, I've all right, look, man, I have seen women like freeze up in a situation and look like they're completely fine, and then afterwards they're like, oh my God, this, that, and the other, and you're going, why didn't you fucking say something when that shit was going on?
You know, to be honest, dude, I think if I was in a similar situation, like let's say in prison, and like it was a big black guy just doing that, I would freeze up too. I'd be like, oh, fuck, what do I do?
To throw it out there, and this has been rare as fuck, I'm going to say maybe 2 times I've ever seen it, I have encountered men reacting the same way. Not to the same situations, but situations where they should have just either A, walked away, or B, done something besides just standing there like a fucking useless bump.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know.
Not because I like the dude, because I really do like the dude and I actually understand comedy, but I still give Louis the benefit of the doubt in the way that if you really think about what he did,
it's hilarious.
Well, I mean, aside from it being funny, because it was funny, but if you think about what he really did, and I know I'm gonna sound like a dick to other people for saying this, but he really didn't do anything wrong.
Aside from the production assistant.
Let me justify that statement. And again, they're gonna think I'm retarded for saying this, but if I remember correctly, most of the articles that I read, and by most of them, I damn near say all of them, he was asking for permission. Hey, Sean, can I put my dick out?
No, I'm good.
Okay, see, that's all you gotta say. But what did these motherfuckers do? They stood there.
Yeah. Well, some of the ladies that came up saying that he had done this to them, they weren't initially like complaining. They weren't even complaining. It was just more like, "Oh yeah, that's funny. That's a funny thing that he did, or whatever."
That's what I was going to say. You can find at least a couple of accounts. Some of them are secondhand, so that's not admissible in court. But and that's the other thing. He didn't do anything illegal. He did some shit that was a little like skeezy, but it wasn't illegal by any means.
Now, going back to...
I was going to say, there were a couple of accounts that came out where it was like, they didn't even identify themselves. They were like, yeah, fucking Louis did that shit, and I watched him jerk off. I thought it was fucking hilarious. Went back to the table, told the other comics. It was like, I just saw fucking Louis C.K.'s penis. But yeah.
And also, like, going back to what Sean was saying earlier about Chappelle, That's what people need to understand, man. Like, and I'm getting tired of saying the same shit. You have to understand that as a comic, your job is to go out there and make people laugh. So my point to that is that 98% of things that are said on a public stage in a comedy club or a comedy open mic come from the same place. It's to make you laugh. Which this is what I'm using to defend the Chappelle's joke in this special of when he said, I'm not a pedophile, but if I was, Macaulay Culkin would be
Yeah.
first kid I'd fuck.
And it wasn't even like...
And I'll be honest with you, I don't personally know Dave Chappelle, but I feel strong enough to tell you, yeah, Dave wouldn't fuck a kid.
And plus, you don't go from Asian women to like little blonde boys. Like
Yeah.
that's just a jump.
Exactly. See, and that was funny.
I mean, fuck, there's some little Asian women that look like little blonde boys.
Come here, yo, Kim. Put on this wig.
Yeah. You flat-chested girl, come over here.
Oh, wait, you're a boy? Too late.
Bonus. What I was getting at was this, man. People got mad at Chappelle. I genuinely believe there's something to the idea that they got mad at Chappelle because their idea of who Chappelle is supposed to be, which is pure fucking fantasy. This is just the image in their fucking head.
Yeah.
Is they don't see him as a comic. They see him as some sort of social voice. And he's never been that. Don't get me wrong, he's come out and made some like statements that were not comedy, that were socially mindful. But he is a fucking comedian. Whereas what I'm saying is, I think if Louis C.K. had not done what he did, people accepted the filthy shit that came out of his mouth and just the darkness out of him because like that was who the fuck he was. You know what I'm saying? Like that was who people thought he was. Their perception and who the fuck the guy actually was lined right the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. There was a lot of shit. Like I said, man, that fucking SNL monologue, way filthier than anything fucking, way more egregious. I mean, if you want to call it that, than anything Chappelle's ever done. But we accepted it because Louis was the dirty uncle of comedy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, people need to... What's that whole line, never meet your heroes? Well, don't fucking have those kind of heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying fucking... Like, I admire the shit out of both of them as craftsmen. But, like, I'm not holding up either one of them as, like, a paragon for fucking humanity. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, that set that Louis did that was leaked...
Still haven't watched it. Heard it was great.
It was awesome, dude. And I'm telling you, it was fucking hilarious. By me knowing, I'm like 99% sure that he was still working through 90% of it. And even because you can hear it, you can hear where he's still trying to work it out. Like it's not a set in stone set that's ready to go on special. But even that he was working out was like, it was fucking hilarious. I mean, you can hear the guy recording. He's laughing his ass off through the whole fucking recording. So
I think that this may have been after that set, but he also did a set at the Skankfest, a comedy festival up in New York that Legion of Skanks runs, which is Gas Digital Media and all those guys, Luis Gomez and all them. And the place they were doing it at was a reasonably progressive venue, with not a safe space, but like the kind of place that encouraged the more progressive type of comedy.
yeah,
Which was funny as hell that the Legion of Skanks were doing it there because those motherfuckers are far from fucking progressive. I love them for it, man. Fucking Big J. Ogerson, Dave Smith, all those motherfuckers are hilarious. I was just listening to Dave Smith's podcast on the way over here. My point being is, he was doing it in the type of venue that if that outrage was sincere, they'd have fucking booed him off the stage. And
Yeah.
they didn't. By all accounts, everybody in that fucking crowd was fucking joyous to see that motherfucker get up and do what he fucking does.
Oh, but by the way, so I'm pretty sure as more people watch the new Chappelle special, this is eventually going to come out too. But something that I picked up on early, and I'm going to go on air and say it, is Chappelle also said that he did a set in San Francisco somewhere, and he did a rape joke. And there was a lady in the front row, and she got up and she made a big scene, and she was like, "It's not funny when you're a victim or whatever," and she just like stormed out. Point is that she like interrupted the set, made this big scene or whatever.
Right.
And then, and Chappelle's the one like telling this story when he was, and this is recorded on his special.
Is this on the afterward?
The epilogue, yeah.
Yeah.
And then anyway, so my point being is that again, people like I strongly believe that any subject can be funny, like if you have the genius in you to make it funny. Now, given, I mean, not all of us are creative enough to pull off a lot of touchy subjects.
Right.
Because I mean, you can say some shit that you meant it to be funny, but the way you said it or delivered it or the way you created it, it just made you seem like an asshole. You know what I'm saying? I
do
get
not,
it.
for the life of me, remember where this quote was from, but it was basically one comic asking an older comic, like, "Can I do rape jokes?" And he goes, "You? No." And yeah, it's that. Yeah, there are certain people that should probably look. I don't want to see Jim Gaffigan doing fucking pedophilia jokes. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not in his fucking wheelhouse.
But if Sam Kinison were to do it, I mean, it's okay. And I mean that literally.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I mean?
look, man, I'll say this just as a slight deviation, man. I'd sincerely hope that any comic working today never, even comics I don't fucking like, never goes down that fucking Kinison route of getting so fucking high on their own bullshit that they think they can just go out there and run mouth for an hour of useless nonsense. Like, if you ever watched that last special he did where he comes out in the fucking like outdoor arena and it's like a rock show and he's got the backup dancers and it's going, Jesus, man, what the fuck is this? By the way, best Sam Kinison story ever is from Mark Maron talking about running. He was basically Sam Kinison's driver when he was working at the Comedy Store, and Kinison kept him up so many nights doing so much fucking blow that he literally had a psychotic breakdown and started like, paranoia, seeing shit, hearing things. Like it's one of those, because like, I mean, you kind of get the impression that Maron was never a fucking stable motherfucker, but like, yeah, just that, like, you definitely, from that portrayal of Kinison, you go, okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a whole fucking lot. I think he even said, like, Kinison woke up, like, just tried to kick his ass one time, like, was accusing him of doing all his blow, almost fucking, like, attacked him and shit, so it's I was like, man, hell, apparently the motherfucker had some blow in his system when he fucking died.
Yeah.
Way to go, Sam. Yeah. Some motherfuckers should not do certain jokes. Not because, again, not because of what the joke is. It's just some people
know how to deliver it. There's a, yeah.
Dude, it's like a bullfighting, man. Like, look, the idea is like, okay, I'm just going to dodge the bull. And then there are motherfuckers that dance in front of the bull.
Yeah. And I think like with me, cause I have a lot of like dark subjects, even like dark subjects that I haven't touched yet, that I feel that eventually I'm gonna touch. But I feel that because of me and my demeanor and who I am, and like the people that have watched me thus far, I really do feel that I could pull off a lot of like edgy shit. But I think it's more because I really do, again, I may be wrong, but I really do feel that people really do get the impression of me when they see me on stage that, hey, I don't think this dude is really a bad guy. He's just funny. You know what I mean? Mm. So as opposed to like I think of like other comics and like somebody that I can think of off the bat, like I don't shout out to Roy Alex Gomez. Mm. Like I don't think Roy would be able to pull. Well, no, maybe Roy's a bad example. Maybe more like Bobby. I don't think Bobby would be able to pull off like a really dark subject. Like and I mean, I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying that this is what the fuck the joke is and this is how it works out and it's how it's gonna come out. But like something along the lines of like, yeah, I was on her and we started fucking and it took me a while to realize that she didn't want me to fuck her, but I kept doing it. But then shit got really weird when I realized that she was already dead even before I started.
Jesus, man, I don't think you should write rape jokes.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, again, that's not the joke. I was just taking you to, like, that kind of darkness. I wouldn't say it like that, and that would not be wouldn't be how I would set it up or whatever. But, you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's, like you said, there's some certain jokes that only, I really do feel like that only certain people would be able to pull off.
Actually, man, that horrible example you just fucking gave reminded me of a joke that I stopped doing a while back. I think I may have told you about that one, where it's like, you ever do something awkward in the bedroom, like, you know, maybe you pull her hair a little bit too hard, you call her a name that she gets offended by, or maybe you do what I did and you drop a rape joke. Well, not technically a rape joke. It was more like a necrophilia joke. It's like, wiggle your toes, bitch. Do something.
Yeah. And why did you stop doing this? That was actually funny. And I told you this the first time. I just don't remember your answer.
To be honest, it wasn't because I didn't necessarily like the response I was getting from the joke. It was just the other material I was doing around it didn't hold it up. It's one of those where it's like, okay, you've nailed the, you know, that double backflip, but what are you going to do now? Because you still got, you know, a couple. I'm not going to close on that fucking joke. It was not that strong of a joke. And plus, one of my favorite responses of all time is I started to go into that joke, and just from the back, I just hear, no. And God bless the host of that show. She turned around and went, yes. It's like, yeah. But yeah, look, there's it's a fine line, man, because we're up there. It's cathartic, man. I mean, that's what humor is. It's cathartic. You're taking pain, turning it into humor, and that's some alchemy that doesn't always come. You know, sometimes you're trying to compress shit down into a diamond, and you just wind up with shit on your hands.
Yeah.
So this shit ain't for everybody.
It is hard, man. But I always.
Oh, and piece of advice to anybody that's going to go to an open mic: if you've never done comedy before, don't start off with the rape joke.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple attempts. It never goes well. You got to work your way up to that, just like a real rape. Okay.
That is very true. And not even just with rape, but don't try not to start with any dark subject.
Well, not even dark, man. I've heard people try to do like sex jokes, like relatively like filthy, but like, you know, wholesome in a way. Like everybody.
I think we could still take that. I think 90% of the audience would still.
Well, no, it's usually what it is they're trying to throw so many, they're going for the shock value. So they're throwing all these details in it. It's like, dude, you don't need, the idea is to trim, get it down to as few details as necessary to get them to that place where the punchline hits. And yeah, man, you're just throwing so much at the wall. And I understand it, man. Like if you've never actually honed a joke down to the point where it's a joke, then yeah, you're throwing a lot of shit at the wall. And it's doubly fucking like just awkward at an open mic because it's like you've already given him the benefit of the doubt. It's like, look, it's an open mic. I don't expect you to come out here and wow the shit out of me on your first fucking try, even on your, whatever fucking try. It's an open mic. But just like you've talked about it, man, run the damn joke by yourself one time. Record it, listen back to it. See how you actually fucking sound.
And the biggest key, well, I mean, at least for me, the biggest key before I even take any joke, even to an open mic, not even the stage, like, when you hear a joke on stage, it's because I've been working on it for a while. Like, it's been marinating in the back for damn nearly burnt. You know what I mean?
It's very, it seems contradictory, but like the jokes that sound the most clean and in the moment are usually the ones that you've spent the most fucking time on, man.
Yeah.
Very rarely does something actually just slip out that 100% works across the board.
Yeah. So, yeah, like you have to, like, the biggest key for me is, like, I have to run the joke, and before I even use that joke at an open mic and at that stage or whatever, it has to make me laugh.
Right.
Literally, like, I have to say it, and I need, in other words, the very first person that I need to make laugh is me. Then if it makes me laugh, now it doesn't mean that the joke is not a stupid joke, that is not retarded, that is not even not funny. You know what I'm saying? It just means that it triggered my laughter. So now I'm trying to see if it's gonna trigger the laughter of about 100 other people. You know what I mean? So do that first, and believe me, you're gonna run through a shitload of jokes that you're gonna think they're funny, but they're really not. And that's gonna really strike your ego. I remember I wrote this stupid ass joke once, and I thought it was gonna be hilarious, and I said it on stage, and then after that I proceeded to eat a big fat bag of dicks. Metaphorically speaking.
Oh, well, that just ruins the story for me now.
Yeah, yeah, man. And I'm like, now I've left that joke so far behind that I'm not. I kind of use it as an accolade, like, and I'm not ashamed to like say the joke. I'm not gonna run through the whole joke, but basically the gist of it was that, I was a recovering alcoholic, and my mom had this conversation with me, and she tried to get me to stop drinking. She was like, "You can't keep drinking, Miko, because it's bad for you, and it's gonna mess up your liver, it's gonna mess up your body." And what I'm really trying to tell you is that if you continue drinking the way that you're drinking, you're gonna end up like Robert Downey Jr. And I turned around and I looked at her and I said, "For real? So you telling me that if I continue this way, I can turn into Iron Man?" I'd have made it, and that was the fucking punchline. Horrible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for ruining 2 minutes of your life. Yeah, but that was...
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be hilarious, man. But yeah, anyway, my point is that you're going to tell yourself and write a bunch of jokes that you're going to tell yourself that in your head you're going to think they're fucking hilarious. But then you're going to proceed to do them at an open mic, and then you'll proceed to eat a big fat bag of dicks. And it's a rude. And what I'm trying to say with that is that is going to be a low blow to your ego. Because it does. It's like, fuck. But learn from that you have to, I mean, if you really love doing this shit, like you have to learn to continue to push through it. And that's going to happen again. And a very valuable lesson that I learned, again, I hate to keep bringing them up, but I mean, it's true. A very valuable fucking lesson that I learned from Chappelle just 2 years ago is that even deep into a 30-year career, there's still going to be nights that you're going to eat a big fat bag of dicks. Because you're going to be off. And I mean, it is what it is, you know. He told that story about that show in Detroit. So, yeah, man. So, and that just gave me motivation. I was like, if a 30-year veteran like Chappelle, and I consider him one of the greats, still fucks up today like that, I'll be alright. I'll be okay. Now, I'm not saying I'm anywhere near the caliber of comedian that he is at all. Not even I was going to say not even in the same page, but not even the same fucking book or the same bookshelf. But I'm just saying that it gave me motivation. That's all the fuck I'm saying.
Dude, there was that incident a couple years back with George Lopez where he had something happened at a show he was doing in San Antonio, and he got he got a bad response from the crowd. And then he was doing a gig up in, I want to say Seattle or San Francisco. I can't remember. One of those fucking Pacific Northwest cities. And he came out and they caught him on video. He was basically like, "And fuck San Antonio." And like, it's to kind of paraphrase the Chappelle bit, actually, it's like my inner Texan was like, "Fuck this dude." But like my inner comic was like, yeah, sometimes it be like that.
It is, dude. It is. I had that incident in Brownsville, man. I hope it doesn't happen again. But that one guy that got open,
dude,
he's like, I fucking voted for Trump. Fuck this shit. And he just fucking walked out. I was like, holy shit. See, I'm telling you, now I really do feel I might need security. I had that incident with that MAGA motherfucker. And then I had this incident with this fucker saying that I was trying to fuck his wife.
Dude, seriously, I was outside in the smoking patio when that went down, and he walked out past me and a couple of the other comics on that show, the MAGA hat wearing motherfucker. Yeah. And he had the hat on, and he just walked out and said something to the effect of like, what I thought he said was, I didn't vote for him. But I guess what he actually said was, I voted for him. But it was like one of those, you ever heard the Lewis Black joke about walking through the mall and overhearing a conversation? It was like, and if it weren't for my horse, I wouldn't have spent those 2 years in community college. Just like, huh? Like, it was just, I heard that one. But yeah, I'm just saying, I gotta laugh. What for all the wrong reasons, but I gotta laugh.
Which that was the whole point. Getting a fucking laugh one way or another. Great show and everything. It was just that's one of the highlights of the night that I remember. Yeah, it was. And then, like I said, so I might need security.
That was an odd audience, and plus the sound system had, oh Jesus, and they had the, oh fuck, I'm just realizing like all the issues we had. We'll talk about this off air, but look, some venues not the best for stand-up comedy,
but sometimes you just got to make it work.
Sometimes you got to stand on a soapbox in the middle of a fucking room while small children run around at your feet.
I think it's weird whenever you go to a comedy gig and the stage is like a floor that's like equal level to like the seats.
Oh, I've done plenty of those, bro.
That's like kind of awkward.
I was just listening to some comic talk about shit gigs earlier today, and he was like, man, I've been to a couple where they just like, it's an open floor and the mic is just sitting on the ground, and they're just like, yeah man, just walk out there and just start talking. It's like, huh? That's not how this works.
I will throw this out there. I went to perform at a venue. I'm not gonna mention the place of the venue. But I will say I've not performed there since. Went to perform there. We got there when we got to the fucking venue. Us, the performers. Um, the venue was closed. There's no cars in the parking lot. So we knock and everything. Somebody comes, opens the door, and they look at us and it's like, "Oh, you're the entertainment." And I was like, "Yeah." Where are the people? So he's like, "Come in." So we walk in the bar and whatever. It was a bar, and it was dark. Like the lights were off, the tables weren't set. So the guy goes in there, turns on the light, starts setting the tables. Hey man, and then he turns around and sees us. Hey man, do you have a mic? I was like, no, bro. I just. He's like, oh, okay. So he goes to the back, comes back, and he's like, hey man, but this is where he almost lost me. He was like, by any chance, do you have a mixer? And I look at him, dude, in the face, and I literally told him, look, bro, all I brought was the jokes. That's all I brought with me, brother. So he was like, all right, man, we'll figure it out.
Well, dude, there was that one gig in, and I won't mention venue names either, but like with Cuagenti, where it was like, you got a microphone, you got a cable for the microphone. Hey, do you know where to plug this thing in?
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, man. So he goes and he starts setting everything up, and we get there, whatever, and then the headliner gets there, bro. And then as soon as he walked in, the first thing he said was like, "Is this where the show's happening?" And then I was like, "Yeah, bro." And he's like, "Does anybody know that there's a comedy show tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Yeah, he's getting it situated." So he looks at me, and I was like, and I told him, I was like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry about that. I apologize for that, bro." And he was like, "I ain't worried, bro. I already got paid anyway." So we're there, and he sets everything up, bro, and people finally start coming in, and then and I forgot one of the best parts of the story. When everything that I just said, when all of this happened, this was literally 15 minutes before showtime. Everything I just said was 15 minutes before showtime. This was already advertised on the flyer. They had already advertised this the week before, so on and so forth. So then we finally get up there. People start coming in right before, because I was opening, right before I was about to start. All of the sound in the bar, like coming from the monitors and speakers, it just went out completely. The mic, the whatever, and we were like, "Oh shit, we're just like me." That's how I kind of started to play it off with the crowd. I was like, "Sorry, y'all, it's just like me. The microphone has some difficulties as well." And then so the mic never came back on. So then the sound guy that didn't even fucking look like a sound guy, he pulls me aside and he's like, "Hey man, I don't think it's gonna come back on." And then I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah man, the microphone, the soundboard, speakers, they're not gonna come back on." And I look at him and I was like, "Well, so what do you want me to do?" He's like, "Well, this is literally what he said, bro." He said, "If I can get him to be quiet, can you talk over him?" I was like, and when they laugh, am I supposed to tell them to shut up too? I mean, how the fuck does that work? So yeah, man, we did a show with no microphone, and we were yelling at the crowd basically. We looked like a bunch of motherfuckers with Tourette syndromes and shit. No offense to anybody that has Tourette syndrome.
You'd make a great comic.
But Yeah, man. That shit was horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
And I have not been back
Dude,
since.
one of my favorite venue fuck-ups of all time that I got to witness. Yeah, we're coming up on the close here in a second. One of my favorite fuck-ups of all time that I was present for, and it was one of those, I was laughing, but it was for all the wrong reasons, was they had the disco lights up on the stage, because it was usually like a fucking, DJ up there doing his thing type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And like almost every like minute and a half, they would just go off and do like the fucking like spin around and flash the crowd and all this shit. And I felt so bad for the dude up on stage, because he'd like a couple of times, like he'd hit the punchline and it would do it. And he was like, yeah. And then it just started cutting him off in the middle of fucking setups. And like you could just see the frustration on his fucking face just increasing. And the next comic that got up literally like got on stage, like looking above them, like, are you going to do it to me too?
Fuck, dude. Like,
Yeah.
hey, man, but look, I want to close on this note. Something, I mean, I know we're talking a lot of shit about like certain venues and fuck ups.
We haven't mentioned any names.
Yeah, but I mean, fuck ups that we had. But to be honest, man, I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm not gonna lie. I think it was the last time that I had a fuck up like from a venue. Like, I didn't feel too bad, just based on the fact that I've heard stories from people like Bill Burr and Jerry Seinfeld, where they went through very similar situations early in their career. So I'll be honest, I don't know if it's me blowing my own horn, but even those experiences, it gives me a sense of like, okay, I'm on the right track. I'm fucking up. This is a fuck up, and this night is probably not gonna end good. But I kind of felt like it was supposed to happen. Like it was kind of, so I was like, okay. Because then I started thinking, I was like, I remember Jerry saying that he went through this shit. I remember there's an experience that Jerry talks about that he says that the crowd wasn't even letting him talk because they felt that he wasn't important enough. Like they didn't even know who he was. So they didn't even care. Like one of the guys went up to him and he asked him, oh, I'm lying. It wasn't Jerry. It was Bill Burr. One of the guys went up to him and like up to his face, like up, not close, but up to him. And he was like, who the fuck are you and why should I listen to you? And he just like walked off. And he was like, in my young comedic career, that was so fucking like demoralizing. Had it been me now, I probably would have booted him in the face. But yeah, back then I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay. So, but
Dude,
yeah, I just feel like it's shit that I'm supposed to go through. It's not all supposed to be smooth sailing and everything.
One of the most egregious and yet so fucking satisfying videos is that one from, I believe it was the early 90s, where the comic was on stage with a guitar.
Oh, yeah.
And just in the middle of the fucking bit,
somebody ran up on him and he fucking whacked him with the guitar.
No, there's that one too, but like somebody was sitting in the fucking front row and he jumped off the stage and beat him with the guitar and then tries to jump back on stage like he's going to finish the fucking set. And they were like, no, dude, you got to leave.
That's fucked up. I remember the other one where the guy kept talking shit and he told him he was going to approach him and he was like, dude, don't come any closer. If you come any closer, I'm going to fucking break my guitar on your head. And he did. Like, he ran up on him and then you just see him. It's like, and then everybody turned around and looked at him like he was the asshole. And I was probably the only one looking at the video and I was like, he warned him twice not to get any closer. It was like, how hard is it to listen? So, but yeah. On that note, be nice, don't be a dick, and make sure that you have backup sound equipment early in your comedic career, if you can afford it, and if you're not going to starve buying it.
Yeah.
If not, just be prepared to shout over people with no sound.
You don't want to plug my future silicone dick making business.
Stop trying to make this a thing, Leo.
This episode has been brought to you by Leo's silicone dicks on sale. You don't even know what the fuck it's called, man. I'm trying to help you out, bro.
Hey, bro. The name
Hey,
sells
man.
itself.
Dick joke in virtual reality comedy coming to you soon, maybe.
And let's be honest, the proper name would be Silly Con Dicks. Damn it, why didn't I get into marketing?
Fuck, dude. Can I buy that from you?
Good night, bud.
We'll work out a deal afterwards.
Custom made silicone.
Yeah.
Silly Connie's Wangs.
Yeah, man. Y'all can find me. Y'all can find me across the board at Freddy G on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
You can find me at hatfieldstandup@gmail.com as well as Hatfield Standup on Facebook and Twitter. Audio version of the podcast at shoutengine.com/bouncing brains. Also available on the Google Music Play app if you can find it, and Stitcher. And if you'd like to get in touch with us and let us know just how you feel about all the shit we've been talking, bouncingbrainspodcast@gmail.com, as well as Bouncing Brains Podcast on Facebook, Bouncing Brains on Twitter and Instagram, and that was it.
Until next time, keep it tight.
Always ask twice for consent.